Okay, so right now I'm working on changing the transfer case fluid in a 97 7.3 POWERSTROKE. This is the automatic transmission. I maintain this thing pretty regularly, with oil changes, and the transmission is rebuilt, and fairly doesn't have that many miles on it since I changed the fluid in that last. But one thing I haven't changed maybe ever, or haven't in a long time, I can't really remember, is the transfer case. So I've been worrying about that here for a while, so I'm finally going to get around to changing that. So I've done some research, and I can't really find, a definitive answer on really what to use in the transfer case. I know in the automatic transmission, you'd use Mercon 5, but then I've heard not also to use that in the transfer case. I don't really know how much of a difference it's going to make. So from what research I've done, I'm going to go with this Mercon LV automatic transmission fluid. I put this in I have two of these trucks, so I put this in my 350 with a manual transmission, and that transfer case and everything seems to be going all right, so I'm going to do the same thing in this truck. So I'm under the truck here right now. So this right here, this is your pan for your engine oil, and this right here is the pan for the transmission. Luckily on mine I have a drain plug. A lot of these transmissions don't have that, so what you got to do is you got to take all these bolts off around the outside and just slowly drop this whole pan and catch the oil and try not to make a big mess. But luckily for me, at least I got a drain plug on mine, but I've changed the transmission fluid in this, not that long ago, or at least not that many miles ago. And then directly behind that is your transfer case, and that's what this is right here. So I think I can see here now why I never changed this transfer case fluid before. This truck used to have stacks on it, and this was the exhaust right here. And as you can see, my fill plug is right here, and then my drain plug is right here. So this exhaust is right in the way of me getting a ratchet in here. To get these open, I think, we have fluid in there, that's good. Oh, I missed the bucket. Alright, I'll let that drain a couple minutes and fill it back up. I need to get a rag. So I actually bought a transfer pump and have one of these, so I figured this is a good job for it. So I don't have to try and pour into that fill plug. There's a lot of kinks in this new hose. It's been cold out, so I'm gonna try and heat this up, bend it back, otherwise I'm not gonna get the oil through there. So you can see how that's just barely coming out of the bottom of the threads there on that fill plug. That's how full you want to have that. Alright, so that pump doesn't quite get all of this oil out of the bottom, especially when you need two hands to angle it or whatever. But so I'm going to pour it all into just one jug. You'd be surprised how much oil builds up when you get all of it out. I paid for all of it, I want all of it. Little trick here. Get something to lean it up against. Let it sit. See, so pouring all that in there really adds up, so I got about half a quart there. I'd say total, I had a little bit left over from when I did it to the other truck, so I probably took about maybe 3 quarts. Which it doesn't really matter, you drain it and then you fill it up to the fill plug, so that's how much it takes, basically. Well, looking in this drain pan now that I see it, I guess that definitely needed to be changed. That's pretty black and you can see how red that new oil is, so glad I got that done. Alright, so that's all it takes. Change the transfer case. Basically in any truck it's probably the same. Basically a lot of vehicles are the same, where you have a drain plug and a fill plug. Basically you just drain it out and then fill it right back to the fill plug. So this truck needs a lot more work, but that's at least one less thing. So